Season 2, episode number 19, Google Flights. Why is it my default travel tool?
Welcome to the weekly edition of Flyer Girl Talk. Nina does not do domestic. She's not a backpacker, avoids hostels, and she reps bad and bougie experience on a budget. If you have the same travel feels, you're in the right place. 31 countries later, get Nina's read on her own travel style, destination deets, trip ideas, and helpful tips that are not always easy to find on your own. Press the subscribe button on your mobile and put this show on lock to get the inside dish on this Flyer Girl's truths every week.
Welcome to the first edition of Flyer Girl Talk. Peeps, it's official. I am launching my first edition, my travel segment edition of the Keep It 100 Girl podcast. And as you know, one of my passions is traveling internationally. And I'll admit, even though I've been slipping in a few little tips here and there, I figured, you know what? I've been to 31 countries. And I have some travel truth stories where I'm going to keep it 100 with you on a regular. And it all starts today. So there's nothing like a wheels up experience. At least for me, I can say that I absolutely love that rush. When you're sitting on the plane, it's about to take off and the wheels go up and you kind of feel it. Those flaps open and close, the plane tilts, the nose is going up, and then we level off at 30,000 feet, overlooking a sea of people wishing, that they could be us. In fact, quick story. Way back in 2001, I was getting these emails, and these are the days where the airlines, in fact, it was US Air, back in the day, which is no longer, had a $250 round trip ticket to Paris. And I was like, sent out an email. And I was like, whoever wants to go, you got to let me know in the next 24 hours. But long story short, there was this VP where I was working who turns to me with pure hateration and was like, Nina thinks she's all that because she's going to Paris. And you know what? I thought to myself, that was the most small-minded thing to say for a so-called seasoned professional or leadership, someone representing management in the organization. And at that point, I realized not everybody shares the same passion, and you can't really share your travel plans with everybody because you know what? They're going to think you're made of money. So I tend to keep it on the down low, and I think that transcended to my podcast because I wasn't letting you guys know that side of me. But trust and believe, I'm ready to reveal. But back to my point, I do tend to withdraw and not let people know exactly where I'm going, or I'm very selective on who I tell because, again, not everybody understands the same thrill. We don't share the same thrill of travel. So every week you're going to navigate with Nina on Travel Tuesdays. Nothing will change. It's the same podcast. I'm going to be throwing in the regular stuff. And then every Tuesday we're going to do the travel thing. And I'm going to maintain my Keep It 100 style when it comes to my road tested travel tips, advice, and of course, unfiltered opinions. So nowadays, we're all not into time wasters, correct? Which brings me to my episode today, which is the ultimate anti-time waster around. Of course, until it recognizes your online behaviors. Today, we're talking about Google Flights and why it's my default travel tool, and it certainly should be yours. Before we get into the episode, I just want to give you a little briefing on how this episode and future episodes is going to work. It's a weekly show. It will air every Tuesday where I'm going to give a travel tip, a piece of advice to help you travel plan your life better. And when you hear trip ideas, tips, it's going to be for the person that's a first-time traveler looking to break into this phenomenon, or to that savvy traveler just looking for that extra nugget of advice. There's also going to be a membership site, and this is where you're going to have full access to premium content. And I'm talking about cracking the travel code here. So you have the option of a la carte style per episode or an annual membership. And the way a la carte works is that if there's a specific episode that you're interested in, it could be my future episode about Greece and the top restaurants where you need to hang out, or an annual membership because you just can't get enough. One episode is not enough and you want your brain fed all year round. And that's going to be the option for you. It's all one-stop shopping. So learn more later on how to access the 100, that is the Keep It 100 membership site later on in the episode. Here we're going to learn the deets on how to spend or splurge and what is the difference. Isn't that what travel is all about? So if you're still here, it's because you're looking for that Nina girl type of traveler insider tips. Man, you're in the right place. So things you gotta know about me or learn about me and my travel style. So number one, Nina is bad and bougie. Ask any of my friends, and what they'll tell you is that I am bougie. Bougie on the cheap sometimes, and bougie when I want to splurge because I'm willing to pay when and where it makes sense. I've always been a boutique traveler. I absolutely loathe dislike chain hotels. Sorry, people, but this is not how I roll. Unless it's a conference where you have discounted rates, my second preferred choice of accommodations is Airbnb. Next, Nina doesn't do domestic. So if you're looking to hear what's going on in Houston next week, what's going on in North Carolina, you are not going to find it here. You probably will get a dose of New York, DC, or Miami, but that's it. Sorry, I am an international traveler. If I can go somewhere for 3 or 4 days outside of the US, trust and believe I'm there. Next, I am not. I'm sorry. If you're looking for budget traveling, backpacking, and hostels, I'm keeping it real. I don't move like that. I mean, I remember back in college where everybody was doing the hostel thing after we graduated. I was like, peace out. I am not doing that. And I've maintained that mantra up until today. And lastly, when it comes to upgrading, you're going to learn bookable tips, whether it's from 6 weeks before your trip up to the day of traveling. Are you ready to drink the Google Flights Kool-Aid? Because by the time I'm done with this episode, you guys are going to be drunk. Now I'm going to be peeling back the onion and breaking down the 10 benefits of Google Flights. And here I'm going to be highlighting all the key features that every traveler should know. Whether you're a spontaneous travel or you like to plan, this tool is your new travel jam if you don't know it already. Seriously, I'm really surprised to find out in 2018 how many people don't use Google Flights or don't know about it. People always wonder how to get the best airfare deals, what's the cheapest flight, whether it's one way or round trip. Look, with Google Flights, you can compare and track airfares on hundreds of airlines at the same time to help you find the best flight deals or just trip plan better. For me, it's not always looking for the best price, even though it's important, but it's the best user experience from booking my flight to finding the right date, time, flight, airline combination all in one place. And you know what? Google Flights gives me that. So we're talking about peeling back the onion. You're going to discover a lot of easy breezy Google-esque type of features. So let's go in and talk about the bennies first. The first one, and we're all about time and not wasting our time. So Google Flights is a major time saver. It really saves so much time when it comes to selecting dates, times, allowing you to compare airlines, like I mentioned before, and choosing your preferred airline as the baseline to see flight prices with different dates. Bang. Second benefit, don't know where you're going? Use Flight Insights. If you're a visual person, look at the price graph to see how the fares vary over time, day by day. Do you need the extra legroom? Because it's going to tell you the price for premium economy so that you can compare. It gives you the fares from alternate airports, lowering the price, and also gives you insight to cheaper flights available on other dates. Pay attention to red and green. Red shows a negative change in airfare, and green is always giving you the green light for booking that airfare. Once you book, all you have to do is log in if you're a member of that airline and proceed as you would to complete your ticket purchase. Third benefit, it compares your information in seconds. This is important, especially when it's peak season like March break, Easter, Christmas. Fares come and go quickly. So 1 minute you might see it on Google Flights and the next minute it's gone. But the airline will tell you it's gone or no longer available once you get onto that airline's page. It happens seldom, but it's always good to compare Google Flights. So this is what I do. I tend to open 2 tabs, and I have one with Google Flights and one with the airlines page. And it's just a double checker to see if the deals are similar or which one has the better deal or even better flight times. But the main reason I do that is just to make sure I'm getting the best of both worlds. I start out using Google Flights as my default because it does give you a better bird's eye view and filters down to your specifics and preferences. The fourth Benny is a money saver. Google Flights gives you date tips. And what I mean by that, it highlights how much money that you're going to save if you're going to leave on a certain day versus another. And if you have flexibility with your schedule and with your outbound or return flight, this really helps with reducing the cost or seeing how much you're going to save. The fifth benefit, Google Flights is awesome for spontaneous travelers like me. If this is you, you're going to train your eyes to always see green. Anything highlighted on the calendar in green, whether you're using the Explore feature or searching for a new flight, consider green as a steal. For example, on my birthday, there was rain in the forecast and I was like, I am not staying in DC. I got up early. I saw green. I saw there were round-trip fares to Miami for $88. I'm not a good and quick packer, but let me tell you, that day I got it together. There was enough time for me to pack a bag for 2 days, head to the airport, and be in Miami by that late afternoon. So this is how Google Flight works when it comes to being spontaneous. The app I use to book all my hotels is called Hotel Tonight. Let me tell you, you're not going to use anything else going forward. I use it for all my travel. Stay tuned for a future episode, and I will give you all the deets and my know-hows about this app and some others. Hotel Tonight is a perfect excuse to treat yourself or your favorite plus one to a midweek or summer staycation vacation in a charming yet modern boutique-style hotel. Let's be clear, it's for all budgets, whether it's luxe or you're a basic kind of girl or guy, whether it's 5-star or a 3-star kind of wallet. There's something for everybody, especially if you are a last-minute or spontaneous traveler like me. So this is what you're going to do. If you go ahead and book your travel, use the promo code NIBABEL this summer. And you know what? You're going to get $25 off. The sixth benefit is price alerts. Who doesn't have Gmail? Google Flights allows you to set up price alerts and get notified last minute if there's any changes in the airfare, for better or for worse. Don't sleep though, because you got to act fast. The seventh benefit is if you're on a round the world tour, you can create a multi-city itinerary and find out the cost in seconds. It highlights the ugly layover flights to avoid, and in some cases, it might not be all that ugly, especially if you're that 2-for-1 type of traveler looking to break up your long-haul journey. The 8th benefit, the flight frills. This is for all you people that are 5, 9, and over. Google Flights will give you the legroom deets for each flight, measured in inches, whether there's a seat plug, and Wi-Fi. So all those flight features are visible when you're looking at different airlines. The 9th benefit, if you don't know where you're going, Google Flights is the best tool. So these are folks who don't know where to go, but are certain you want to vacay. Use the Explore Destination feature. Look, it will give you options. And again, the ones highlighted in green are absolute steal. You can filter by the number of bags, the number of stops, price, times of departure, airlines, and a whole lot more. It gives you a pop-up of cities with the best fares. So you click on the name of the city. You can view your flight options by airline and the number of stops, which is all what I use as my decision-making criteria for booking. You're going to see a sea of blue dots on the Google map. And like any Google map, all you're going to use is the plus and minus sign to get a global view of all the flight deals internationally. And lastly, the 10th benefit, are you the worst packer? So now Google Flights has incorporated the checked bag filter. Instead of searching for it on the airline website, now you're going to be able to find out the cost of a checked bag, the amount of checked bags you are allowed for that particular airline and flight. If you are a frequent flyer, then when you get rerouted to the airline page, you're going to be able to see and confirm your baggage allowance. So I'm almost finished, but this is where the weirdness comes in. If you shop for tickets over and over like I do, almost like in an OCD kind of way to see if there's any changes, Google Flights does remember you, whether it's from your laptop, your phone, like any internet. It remembers your searches. I almost feel that when you revisit the page, the algorithm knows your searches, memorizes them, and sometimes what you saw yesterday, you won't necessarily see today. It does remember where you live, your last search, and past searches. If this is all too much to absorb, you can join me online at the Keep It 100 membership site. Remember I told you about this earlier? And this is where I'm going to give you an actual video tutorial of all the Google Flight features that I mentioned in this episode. Again, this is premium content. It's like I am literally hand-holding you, giving you that one-on-one to make your trip a success. So this premium content means that you need to be a 100 member or pay as you go. And my intro offer for this episode is $4.99 to have access to the video tutorial. You're going to visit bit.ly/FGT Flyer Girl Talk 01 or visit the keepit100girl.com/podcast and you're going to look for Flyer Girl Talk episode number 1 and click on the link for the 100 membership site. Thanks for tuning in to the Flyer Girl Talk Show. If you have the travel feels and possess the Keep It 100 in your life, tune in each week for Real Travel Talk, where you're going to hear Nina's deets, tools, and travel advice. Review the show on iTunes, and even better, don't forget to subscribe so you never, ever, ever miss one of these episodes. Like what you heard, share it. Help me spread the word. I'm on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Auto Radio, and Google Play Music. Can't get enough? Well, then get social with the Flyer Girl herself using the handle @NinaBabel, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter. You could also join Girly Nation on the Keep It 100 Girl Facebook page and let me know what you think of this episode. Travel is my passion and therapy, and if you've listened to any of my past travel episodes, you will know my travel personality. After all, It's expanded my mind over the years, and you know what? It also fills the gaps in my life. Travel brings power and love back into our lives. Tune in next week when I talk about long-haul flights and preparing for them. Especially now, you know how to use Google Flights. Now we're going to prepare for that long-haul flight. Flyer Girl keeps it 100. She keeps it real. She keeps it true. Smooches.